36. Yilin finally decided she wanted a child, and from that moment, she embarked on the grueling journey of trying to conceive. Yet after several months of trying, she still hadn't become pregnant. Convinced that Yilin was infertile, her mother-in-law handed her son a business card, hoping he would take her to see a doctor. Before her husband could figure out how to bring it up, Yilin noticed the business card lying on the floor, and an awkward silence immediately fell over them. Furious, Yilin stormed off to the hospital determined to prove that she wasn't the one with fertility issues. But after a battery of tests, everything turned out normal with her, only to reveal that her husband suffered from azoospermia. The doctor urged them not to lose hope, explaining that if they could retrieve even a single sperm, there might still be a chance to conceive. He recommended that her husband undergo further evaluation in urology. However, after enduring a series of painful tests, the doctor insisted on an even more intimidating biopsy. Hearing the news, her husband was utterly shocked. Before long, Yilin packed her bags and accompanied her husband for the surgery. To cover for their absence, she lied to her mother-in-law, claiming they were on a trip. Over the phone, the mother-in-law eagerly expected that the trip would result in a grandson. Instead, when the test results came in, despair set in. It turned out her husband was truly infertile. Seeing her husband so devastated, Yilin didn't know how to comfort him. Later, when they returned home and looked at their little niece, neither of them could muster a smile. From that day on, her husband carried a lingering resentment, and Yilin's heart ached at every reminder of it. Inevitably, the truth couldn't stay hidden. The mother-in-law soon found a surgery sheet in her son's pocket. Having spent 30 years as a teacher preaching honesty, she was shocked to find that her once truthful son was now deceiving her. As she confronted them, Yilin wondered if the mother-in-law already knew everything. Yilin asked her to open the door so they could talk face to face, but her mother-in-law refused to listen. When Yilin instructed her husband to get his mother to open the door, the mother-in-law spoke first, accusing them of not going out for fun, but instead going to the hospital. At this, both Yilin and her husband were terrified. The mother-in-law continued, saying she knew they never really wanted a child, but she had never forced them. She always respected their decision, no matter how young a child is. It's still a life, she scolded. How can you just abandon one so casually? It then became clear that she had mistaken the surgery report for Yilin's own record. The couple hurriedly explained that they hadn't gone to have an abortion, but the mother-in-law wouldn't believe them and demanded to know what surgery they had undergone. At that point, her husband decided to muster the courage to confess the truth to his mother. But as he stuttered helplessly, Yilin stepped in and took all the blame upon herself. She claimed that she had undergone uterine fibroid surgery and would never be able to have a child. Though her husband felt grateful for her sacrifice, his pride was wounded. He was angry that Yilin hadn't discussed it with him and had taken the entire burden on herself. The conflict remained unresolved. Soon after, due to the urgency of the situation, Yilin was sent on a business trip out of town. While revisiting a familiar place, they recalled humorous incidents from their past. Meanwhile, Yilin's ex-boyfriend, now just a friend, expressed his hope that she might give him another chance at reconciliation.